Great. Thank you for staying with us, okay? We now head over to the Point. It's time for To the Point tonight. And tonight we are discussing mental health. Like you already know, we have mentioned this quite a number of times, and this is a really broad topic. So we're having this discussion today ahead of the commemoration of the World Mental Health Day, which is the everyday, or listen. This day happens every 10th of October, which is going to be Tuesday, Kesho Kuto, okay? That's going to be the World Mental Health Day. And this year's theme is mental health is a universal human right. You see it here, mental health is a universal human right. And it is at this point that I want to engage my guests who are already with me in studio, Petronila Mukaenda, who is the Deputy Director and Head of Research and Compliance at the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights, Dorothy Omolloh, a counseling psychologist, Victor Hamisi, founder, Check on a Man, and we shall be joined by Charity Muturi by way of phone, who is a co-petitioner to decriminalize suicide attempt in the country. Karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So I want us to start here. Mental health is a universal human right. Petronila, obviously yes. That goes to you.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, indeed. World Mental Health Day, we celebrate it every year. And this year's theme is mental health as a universal human right. And that is so on point because often when we talk about health, we seldom think about mental health. And so it's a reminder that actually mental health is a fundamental human right and should be taken as such. And everyone is entitled to it. And so what are we looking at? It means that we are looking at things like even accessibility of mental health care. How accessible are our mental health care services? How our service is able to promote, and protect human rights. How our service, healthcare givers are able to promote and protect human rights, or actually use a human rights-based approach when they are securing health.
Right.
So when we look at, if I may go just further, is to mention that under our Article 43 of the Kenyan Constitution, it's actually health. The right to the highest attainable standard of health is recognized as a constitutional right, the same right that is secured under the various rights instruments, both regional and international, as well as our Health Act of 2017, and indeed we have various policies that recognize that. So that means that the governments, and in our case, both county and national governments, have to put in place measures, policy, administrative, and other measures that are needed to actually ensure that everyone enjoys
right.
the rights to health care,
right.
including mental health.
Okay, Petronila. So you've actually preempted my next slide. We shall get there, which is on access to effective care. But before we go there, Victor, I want to get your quick reaction to this. It's a universal human right, mental health.
And one of the things is the right to life. So everybody has a right to life and live. And the best way to live this life is through mental health. So if you have someone who has not 100% mental, is not okay, then at the end of the day, the next thing that person will do is commit suicide. So this person will no longer be living with us, will not be living. It does not matter the kind of serenity he or she is, and especially as someone, as a counselor, and also someone who champions mental health in men, basically because we lose the highest number of people who commit suicide are men rather than to the ladies. So at the end of the day, we need the world to have a safe space where everybody, not in terms of gender parity, but everybody has a right to live and to live a good life, but also not only in terms of only breathing, but also mentally be well. Yep.
You said the highest number of those who commit suicide?
Are men.
Men?
Yes.
Not women?
Not women.
Dorothy?
Thank you so much, Grace. I would concur with him on the aspect of a number of men. This is because men's emotional, or rather men's way of expressing their emotions is more of inward than outward. So naturally, women are, thought of, they express their emotions easily, while on the contrary, men are more emotional than women. Yeah. So yes, I'm glad that this year's mental health, theme for this year, as we mark a World Mental Health Day, is making it a universal, basic human right.
Yes.
So that when it's basic, it means is part of the food, shelter, and healthcare. So once the world, the universe, everyone is able to understand that your health, even your physical health, the fact that you have a headache going to the hospital, what about if you checked about your emotions, your mental health, before starting medications of malaria and all that? So once it's made to be more basic, I think we are headed in a very, very beautiful direction.
Right.
And also I think, Grace, is that as she has